Akasha?
Oh, right. Okay, so if you look at Akasha and you look at the potential, like there can be potential health effects, right? So form and function when it comes to health. The form of organs, the pattern the energy moves to keep things moving and working correctly is a thing. So if you have a terrible shape, right, you will impede function, right? So this is something that people will look at as like how I'm sitting now, I'm slouching, not so good. For me, if I've just eaten, this will make a bunch of stuff pinch here and I'll be in a lot of pain for a while. So by having good posture, you have a clean through line for gravity to pass, and then gravity can invigorate you and help invigorate the tissue so energy can pass through. Now what if you are dissolving form, dissolving space, right? You're dissolving shape. So the potential to dissolve the shape of decent health can be there. Also, the potential to create the shape of better health is there, right? The potential to dissolve the memory at the deepest levels of good function, healthy function, that can happen. But you can also create a blueprint for much better function as well. So this is why, especially with something like deep trance type states or deep Akashic states, you really want to have that good posture so that you can maintain some type of physiological memory while you're doing this, of function, of good function, right? So if you do Akasha, a lot of people will feel quite drained after, right? And my feeling is that it almost makes the mitochondria kind of dumb. Like it feels like it sort of makes them a little stupid for a bit. So you like doing ballistic activities after, do like your throwing or sprints or, jump as high as you can 10 times or, take some light weights and chain punch or whatever you want to do. Hit a bag or something, but not like pop, 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 but just freaking wail on it. Something to remind the cells of the mitochondria to function again. So if you really want to butcher yourself, like exercise while in Akasha, and it's awful. It is awful. But your Akasha will get stronger and you will develop immunity to Akasha over time. But en route to that, we want to employ safety mechanisms. So that would be things like maintaining your vital capacity, the strength of your vitality, working out, taking resistance. It's so important to take resistance. So many people in, say, Tai Chi, Qi Gong, yoga, don't pick up heavy things. Pick up heavy stuff, right? You like at least 1 or 2 days a week, pick up some heavy stuff. Train your vitality, train your strength, so that if you are going into deep states of Akasha, you have the resilience and the vitality to cope with potential errors and have them not work, demolish you. So I've had students who have been meditation teachers for decades, and you see a lot with people who've done certain types of meditation for long periods of time. They go into a trance, and then I had one guy who every time he came back from teaching a retreat, he was like this. And everything, part of his cascade to get into that state, his cascade of processes involved essentially a massive demagnetizing of some important postural lines. And there was this very kind man, but a certain vacancy to him, and certainly an absence of brightness, right? So this is not everything is the same. not everyone who does a certain thing does it the same way, right? Typically, if we engage in a practice, we'll find something that works. Now, if you're doing long duration sits, your goal generally is to figure out how to sit for a long time in some type of comfort, and there's value in that. I used to do a lot of that, and you know, once you start getting like bed sores on your ass, you're like, maybe this sucks, right? Maybe I like don't want to do it. Maybe it's not the most fun thing to do. So duration practice, you're practicing developing duration, right? But that doesn't mean you're, shining brightly for 12 hours or whatever you're doing. You might actually be depleting yourself every day. You might be opening up injuries and demagnetizing trauma and getting some healing from that perspective. But often you're getting weaker. The amount of strength and vitality it takes to sit there for 12, 16 hours a day for like a couple weeks is pretty phenomenal. And if you're in the highest of states where you're in types of samadhi and there's vast amounts of energy that can pass through you and invigorate you and help you hold that, that's different. But most of us don't touch that, or if we do, it's for very, very brief moments. And I mean, a brief moment is enough to fill you for a good chunk of time, right? But we can't think that we're here if we're not there, and do the practice as if we're here. We'll end up taking damage. So we have to build our vitality. We have to balance the astral body, do your black and white mirror, do your self-work, so that when you do reach high energetic states and that energy comes through you, it doesn't pressurize all your shit, right? Because you can look at energy, like whatever shape is there is still there. The shape of whatever our personality tendencies might be that some people might not like. The energy comes in, it'll pressurize that. So your ability to release has to equal that, right? So all of these processes that you go through are very important, and they all have a function to help aid in your health vitally, your health psycho-emotionally, so that you can continue to progress on the spiritual path with as much resilience as possible and with as little risk of damage as possible. And scene.